When my brother showed up at my place one evening, I didn't think much of it. We were sitting in the living room, catching up over coffee, when he suddenly looked at me with a strange expression. "Where's your wife?" he asked casually. "At work," I replied without hesitation. My wife, Sarah, had told me she was working late on a project at the office. It wasn't unusual. She often stayed late at her job. But my brother shook his head, his voice lowering. "No, she's not at work." My heart skipped. "What do you mean?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady, though I could already feel a knot forming in my stomach. He hesitated, clearly torn between telling me and keeping silent. Finally, he sighed and said, "I saw her. She was at the new restaurant downtown, sitting with another man. They were holding hands, laughing. It didn't look like a work meeting." For a moment, I couldn't breathe. My mind went blank, then filled with a rush of images. Sarah kissing me goodbye that morning, Sarah texting me about how stressful her day was, Sarah promising she'd be home late. All lies. I tried to convince myself my brother was mistaken, that maybe it was someone who just looked like her. But deep down, I knew he wasn't wrong. He wouldn't come to me with something like this unless he was certain. That night, when Sarah came home, I watched her carefully. She acted normal, too normal. She smiled, kissed me on the cheek, and told me she was exhausted from work. I nodded, but inside, my chest was burning with anger and betrayal. The next day, I left work early and drove to her office. I waited outside until the time she usually left. But instead of walking out with her coworkers, she got into her car and drove straight downtown. I followed, my hands shaking on the steering wheel. She parked near the same restaurant my brother had mentioned. And sure enough, within minutes, the same man walked up to her car. She stepped out, smiling in a way she hadn't smiled at me in months. Then he leaned down, kissed her on the lips, and they walked inside together. My world shattered in that moment. I didn't confront her then. I sat in the car, watching, my entire body numb. It was true. My brother had been right. My wife wasn't working late. She was with someone else, building a life behind my back. That night, when she came home again with her fake excuses, I couldn't hold it in anymore. I asked her directly, "How was dinner with him?" Her face went pale instantly, and she didn't even try to deny it. That silence was louder than any confession. Everything we had built together, years of marriage, promises, and love, it all crumbled with that one truth. And the worst part was, if my brother hadn't asked that simple question, I might have kept living in the dark, trusting her lies.
Please subscribe, share, and like. 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 Please subscribe, share, and like.